Yo, Wise, bro. Sorry about that, bro. Can you hear me? Yo, what up, Joe? Yo, chilling, bro. How are you, man? Yeah, man. Got you got your red bottoms on, bro. Life is good. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. Oh wait. I judge people who put honey in their tea. Yeah. It's like drinking flavored tea. Now you're uncultured, bro. Like, come on, man. You don't have a heritage now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, dude, it's like I feel like I haven't felt 2020. It's just like it's gone by so quickly, bro. Like I feel like we just don't have a 2020, man. It really zoomed by so quickly, bro. Yeah, obviously the pandemic has happened, so for that reason, it's like we've just kind of just zoomed right past the whole thing. So, like, I mean, it's just flying by, really. I mean, we've been locked down since when? Like since end of March, right? I've literally just been at home the whole time, like the whole time. At most, I'll go to the mall, like up the road, but that's about it. Dude. So, but it's still grinding. You know what I'm saying? Got to grind, man. Got to push. You know what I'm saying? Change. you know, some pursuit of happiness ish, bro. Oh. Too soon. Okay. Yeah. Facts. I will talk about the pandemic in reference because the pandemic, guys, especially in America, specifically to America, it is happening in the year of like an election, which is a huge deal. And for this, it's kind of messed up because now you'll find that a lot of the politicians are actually acting to get votes as opposed to actually like considering the people, etc. So now Ye has decided he's going to run for president. I don't know if it's actually like possible because I think he's missed a couple of deadlines for some things that's been required. Apparently, also he's dropping soon. I heard he's got the whole Dre thing going on. I don't know if that's what he's dropping but I can't trust his words, man. If he says he's gonna run for president, like you just can't trust it. You don't know if it's really gonna happen. But it definitely did. It got him some good spins on Twitter. I think that tweet, when I checked it at the time, it had like 600,000 retweets. I'm sure it's past a mil now, hands down. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Big time. Big time. And he would have been the perfect person to divide the black vote. If you think about it, he was a pro Trump, right? So he was essentially like a Republican figure. Then he said, nah, if that, I'm going to run against Trump. However, all of the black Democrats were against Trump or like against Republicans still don't trust Kanye. So he's even dividing the Democratic vote in itself. So he's literally splitting the black vote three ways, bro, between two parties. That's like disastrous, bro. And I mean, geez, if I was American, I wouldn't trust Kanye either. But
Hell no. You see, I think the issue that Black Americans have now, in particular as well. Maybe not now, but I think. Oh, and just apologies. I got a note that nobody could actually hear me before. Sorry, guys. But
snap!
now they could hear you, but not me. My mic was just muted.
Oh, okay.
But I think the issue is that people are still recovering from the trauma of Obama, because I think some of the issues that came from that is that they weren't real Black American issues that were really addressed or satisfied or really looked at during his time. So now you got someone like Kanye, and you're like, man, now what? Even Joe Biden is just like, that guy, dude.
That guy's he's having mental decline, no? No, he is. He's having cognitive decline. Like there are lots of videos where he forgets what he says 5 seconds ago. Be like, I'm gonna drink water now. There's water there. I'm gonna drink the water, and then he's like, wait, what is it? I'm gonna drink.
How can you have
like
something like that? What's this button again? The panic, the missile button. What is it? Huh? Am I not supposed to press what?
What did I just press? Oops.
Oh, my bad. Let's let's
And if you watch that, I mean, I was really following that Democratic the Democratic the votes, as they were happening. Yeah. And I was seeing as everyone was dropping out, just going behind Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders was literally about to take that thing, man, but then they got scared again. I think there's just something so deep entrenched in America. It's like if you're not on the capitalist spectrum, you're a communist, like through and through. Screw what's this democratic socialism? Screw anything. You're a communist, like that's that. And then in America's eyes, man, that's like China. So.
Did you hear what he said? What you call it? Boy Joe, brother Joe, John Doe, Jojo. This guy said, I think it was on the Breakfast Club, if I'm not mistaken, or he was on an interview with Charlamagne the God. Man, what do you if you still trying to figure out, if you're gonna vote for me or for Trump, are you really even black? Paraphrase. I was just like, dude, really?
Oh my god. Man.
And I was like, man, that ain't the point. But I think I had one of my close friends, Lorena, in on the show, like in the previous episode. And one thing an interesting thing about her, because she's from Honduras.
Okay.
And an interesting thing about what she told me about Honduras, and I've learned in other pockets, is it's the plight of dark-skinned people throughout the world. It's super crazy. Like it's almost like we are Superman, sorry, or super people rather, um, and there's this kryptonite that everyone's just trying to put in us every time, and it's crazy that how it's so similar regarding no matter which continent you go to. When you look at the plight of the dark skinned person, it's just like, yo man, wherever you go, bam. China was well. I mean, a lot of these countries were like, yeah, come through. And then when this, shit, you out, bro, you out. No property for you, or you can't go there, or you can get this job, or you. Hey, I'm just like, man, that's whack.
It's disappointing. Like I know what happened in China now. It's extremely disappointing. With the whole like they're now blaming black people for bringing COVID-19 there, which is like what the hell. So now, like I have a friend who's teaching English there, well, a couple actually, but this one friend of mine, she's teaching English there. She was telling me how messed up it was. Can't even like going to malls and stuff. They're just stopping her from getting in. It's like so twisted, bro. Extremely disappointing. Extremely disappointing. Yeah, I don't know, eh? Yeah.
Do you remember? I'm assuming Big Daddy Besh is ambition. He's typing here. He's typing here. First of all, he's like, man, it's good to see you after so long and seeing me. What up, boy? He says here, did you know that
Oh, man.
Republicans were against slavery back in the day, and the Democrats were actually for it?
He's right. He's right. He's right. Link the whole. Wasn't Abraham? Wait, because at the beginning, I remember the roles were switched.
I think it was George Washington.
George Washington, yes.
Yeah.
He was actually a Republican. No? Wait, actually I don't know. But I remember it was switched around. The Democrats were acting like what Republicans act like today, and Republicans were acting like what Democrats act like today. I don't know where that switch happened. But he's right. Shout out ambition, bro.
Yeah,
Well done.
but I mean, the reality is, man, like, the people who make history are the victors, Back then, slavery was no longer popular as time went, so people had to flip the script itself. You had to choose what you want. It's kind of like now, with social media, you got to post what works. And I was actually saying
Exactly.
I was saying to someone today that, my issue sometimes with these people who have, these public figures who have like super good relationships on social media. I'm just like, they show you what you want to see. They're selling an image. Even if you're not someone who's necessarily famous, sometimes people just post stuff to look good on the gram or whatever, to paint a picture of their life. I mean, there are people who just generally do it because that's just what they do, and there's no agenda around that. But the reality is, the people who actually view those things, that's a lot. That's a lot. The content that they see is what they take in. They're like, man, I want to live that life. I wanna be that romantic. Yo, I want somebody who'll do that for me. And it's kind of like, yo, man, why don't we post? Why don't we post about the fights, even if it's staged? Like yo, last week, boo, last week we were fighting about me leaving my boxes on the floor. Why don't we film some shit? Why don't we film some shit about that? Us fighting about, you always leave your shit on the floor. This ain't your mama's house. Why don't we see some of that, and then you talk through about, oh, baby, I'm sorry, and they film that type of content. You're like, oh damn. You're like, damn, Will Smith. That nigga don't clean his own underwear.
On some Bushido Brown. Bushido Brown ain't gonna wipe his own ass.
Who gonna clean this, Will? Who gonna clean this? You want me to clean your doo-doo? Huh? Is this how you was raised? we don't see none of that content. It's always for what is popular, what do we need.
But actually, we do see that type of content. We do see the fights and stuff, but only when it sells.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your favorite family, the Kardashians, bro. Wasn't it like last month or something where Kim and was it Courtney? They got into like a fight which involved nails and shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so there it was selling, bro. It's just that you do it when it sells. The like I was telling you before the call, I don't trust social media and the people on it. I am glad for the advent of social media because it disrupts the traditional way to like fame and popularity. You don't have to take the traditional channels like becoming like a popular figure on TV or something like it was back in the day. You can literally just go viral by yourself in your own room. Like who's that Kenyan girl now, Majimbo? I think Elsa Majimbo.
Yeah.
That's like the perfect, for me. Her story is like is why I give thanks to social media. Like I'm super grateful for social media for allowing avenues like that. However, the problem is you can never trust someone who's chasing clout.
Yeah.
You cannot. I can't trust these public figures. I can't trust
No ways.
freaking influencers. I can't trust there's even activists I can't trust, online. You never know when someone just says something for the sake of it. And Twitter, man, they're just waiting for you to slip up. You could just say the one wrong thing. All our stands, bro, they all just say that one thing that just gets us going, and then it's like. So I cannot trust social media for the life of me, bro. I take it with a pinch of salt, no matter who it is, bro.
Look,
because you never know why someone's doing what they're doing.
And what it is, right? The reality is that it's a folks world, but it's another dimension that we just have access to. But it's actually not
like drugs, dog.
And
it's like drugs.
Yeah.
It's like drugs, bro. Real talk. It's like dopamine, bro. It's like that dopamine hit. It's like taking a line, bro. So
I'm seeing here, so Ambitions here in the chat room saying that we can't even trust the corona stats. Man, everybody lying, man. I remember.
The thing with Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I remember when, right in the beginning, when for Gauteng, when those stats were staying low. I was like, nah, dog. Look, Western Cape, yeah, you see now. But at the same time, I was just like, and I kept asking people, I was like, am I being paranoid? Like these numbers for Gauteng are staying dramatically low, and then all of a sudden, I was like, well, okay, that makes it a little bit more sense.
That makes sense.
It's not that I want people to get corona and Gauteng. It's just you're talking about the realism. There's overpopulation here. People. This is where all our tumble is. What's the unlikelihood that people, the first 10 people who arrived here in Joburg, where it actually started, where people ain't got it in the masses here. It's just unlikely, man. We're talking about probably.
No, I agree. Look, in terms of the reporting, I mean, the numbers that we've been getting for this whole time, I don't even know if they're close to the accurate numbers. Look, God bless the state for doing all they can to do the tracking and test everyone. Shout out to that. However, if you look at the nature of COVID-19, you get it like the flu, dude. If I just touch you, dude, you've got it. Mm-hmm. So how the heck are you gonna actively monitor the number of people to close accuracy?
Yeah.
Monitor the number of people who actually have it when it spreads so easily. Even that first case of that couple, was it someone went on vacation to Italy and got back? That was the first reported case.
Mm.
Damn straight, bro. That person did not bring COVID to South Africa.
You don't
it
think
came
so?
It came well before them. I will tell you now. There were flights, dude. When that dude brought it here, when it was first reported by that dude, there were already flights going back and forth from Italy, bro. There was no lockdown. Things were still normal. Are you telling me that from at least a week before that, no one came with COVID here? Okay. You are lying.
Yeah, that's probably the first reported case.
The first one they discovered.
Yeah.
But it came well before that. I'm positive, bro. I'm hands down,
That's a good point. I never thought about it like that.
No, absolutely, bro. And keeping track of them is even tougher. I don't know how much. Look, if you look at the rate of how corona spreads, it's exponential, So I give it to you, and then we give it to other people. So it's exponential, right? It just goes up like that. So if I look at the numbers now, the accurate measure wouldn't even be. It'll be more than double, dude.
That makes sense
if you consider everything, But okay, they did do lockdown and stuff, but how effective was that? Especially now when we just had alcohol open and people having parties and stuff. I think more than double, dude. If it's exponentially growing, it's not linear, nah. If it was linear, I would say it was double, but exponential, square that shit.
And I'm pretty sure when alcohol was on sale, I'm sure if we check the Apple Music records and even the Spotify, I'm sure we're going to see an increase of streams and sales for DMX. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you. Ding, 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 ding. Hey! People went mad. They're like, hey, bottle store, homie. Yo homie, I got a bottle of tequila. Let's go.
Let's go. Yo, but how mad was niggas, bro? When on Sunday the president delivered his thing and said with immediate effect, how mad was niggas, bro?
They were like, wait, so you ain't gonna give me Monday? Still
Like
disrespect?
nothing. I bet you everyone watching thinks that I'm drinking actual beer. This is not alcoholic, bro.
I mean, you drinking
Not
non-alcoholic.
alcoholic, bro.
I'm on tea. It's tough out
You know
here,
what I'm
man.
saying? You it's tough, bro. It's tough.
To be fair, I
You
haven't bought
real.
any liquor at all. Other than I bought my girl a tongue. Yeah, whatever pack or 24, whatever of
Mm-hmm.
brutal fruit. That's the only
Mm,
alcohol that I've bought since before lockdown started. So I'm telling
for
you
real.
now, yeah, man. I was like, oh,
Nice.
I was just like, oh, yeah, this is happening. All right, then, I guess we're going for a cleanse. I guess that's what the universe is telling me. Sammy, put the bottle down, sir. Stay at home. Don't go
Yeah,
outside. Drink water and just
that's good.
relax. The world is going to reformat itself right now. See you on the other side of the decade. Come on.
Yeah, I think that was a good time to cleanse, guys. I'd actually cleansed. I hadn't touched alcohol since April last year. Like I just stopped.
Word.
And then I picked it up again this year around like March. But it was like impromptu. It was like right, yeah, like right before lockdown, and it was very like impromptu, just So anyway, when lockdown happened and now there's no alcohol, I'm actually doing just fine.
Mm.
Actually, this is a good time to clean myself up again. I think I became a lot more zen. Life was a lot good.
Why'd you stop
Save more.
last year?
I just wanted to focus, man. Um, I think one thing actually made me realize like alcohol is nice in social settings and stuff. Like definitely it helps. Like boost the social interactions or whatever. But I realized when I actually stopped it, like there was so much that I'd saved on. I was spending like I was saving so much more money. Number one, a lot of my time was back to me. My health, just in general, like no more hangovers, no more sore stomachs. Because I can't drink like I used to when I was younger.
Nope.
It's not the same, dude.
Mm-mm.
So I just saw like an overall improvement in my life, and I was kind of like, I actually like this feeling. Um, and I feel like with alcohol it really took a lot of time away from my life. So I'll drink and then the next day I'm freaking like I can't do anything that whole day. I can't work.
It's
I
a
can't
write
do
off.
whatever. Yeah, man. Like I just wasted a day, and for me, like time is the most valuable freaking commodity right now. I feel like 24 hours is not enough for a day. I wish there was more. Like I cut it off and I stayed off alcohol. And I just got like my life right, man. Started like working out and stuff, started running, started. Life was just better. I used to sleep better. I was more productive. I got a lot of my I just got my own personal goals and I could just meet them a lot more. So it was just a good idea to do. The unfortunate part, it makes you actually realize just how many friends you really have. Some people now, like, they'll only hang with you if you're drinking, and now when you're not, all of a sudden you're not worth the company. It's kind of sad. I guess I've always been alone back in the day, anyways. I was like, all right, cool, guys, let's
It's like
chill.
that. All right, man. Keep your booze.
You know, you know, and I got on that tea game, bro.
Oh,
I've been on that tea.
tea is life, bro. Tea is life.
He's
That's
like, I told you, I'm not gonna drink tea now because it's nighttime, and if I drink it now, I'm gonna be back and forth to the toilet. I won't be able to sleep, bro. Because I don't drink tea in a normal mug. I got this big mug, bro. Like,
nice.
it's a big one, bro. So yeah,
So
yeah,
something
man.
something that what you call it, that my uncle, I think it was my uncle, what he told me from Botswana, Gaborone, he's a Kalanga man. he
Okay.
so he informed me that how they drink tea there, or how it's meant to be drank. It's supposed to be in the summer, in the afternoon when it's hot. And this when I was young. I think I was, how old was I? I think it was definitely still high school sometime. I think early high school. So I was like, yo, Malume, you crazy, bro. It's hot as hell. It's Kalahari heat. You want us to sip on some tea. You tripping, old man. There's no way. She's like, nah, look, open your mind, man. Young man, open your mind. Just have some tea. And I was like, let me just prove this homie wrong. Man, I was surprised. Like that's when
For
that's when
real.
that's when I realized that I wasn't paying attention in the science classes, obviously, because after I
Yeah.
drank the tea, I started to sweat, but it was like condensating, and then all of a sudden my
Yeah.
body feeling cool, and I looked at him. He's like, "You see, young man, when you open your mind, your world expands." I was like, Yoda.
There's some bars.
And he's got that whole full on beard with a mixture of black and gray. He's just like
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, that's
shout
some
out
OG shit.
shout out to Uncle Sam in Botswana. Right now they're having
Yo,
it tough there. You know,
realest one. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
cousin sent me some videos from Botswana, man. Like right now, dudes, it takes almost like 2 hours. I don't think every time, but they have to like save 2 hours a day to go and fill up gas. And if you see the videos, like there's just lines and lines and lines of people at the petrol
Oh,
stations. It's mad because of this whole coronavirus thing. They have limited
yeah.
resources of fuel, so they can only ration specific amount of fuel per car per day or per week or something like that. It's wild. It's absolutely
That's wild,
wild.
man. But are they under lockdown?
Mm-hmm.
So why do people need cars?
Good
That's my
question. The
question.
president said
Like,
that their president actually said, guys, we're rationing oil. Now's the time for change. You can start walking to work, buy bicycles, go to work. People are like, bicycle. It's like, so that's the issue. People are so accommodated to this Western way of life. Get in the car, let's ride it.
yeah,
Tar roads, son. Nah, homie.
yeah.
You can actually walk, but there are people who are walking and who are on the bikes. But there's the majority are like, man, I'm paying an installment for this car. You want me to leave it in? You want me
You
to
want to
leave it
leave
in
it
the
at home?
garage? And the irony is, the more they use it, even though it depreciates more, they're still spending cash on fuel when they could be saving and getting fit. But people are like, nah,
Guys,
man, I want my life the way it was.
hey, guys, does the insurance know, bro, that they're driving their car during lockdown? I wonder if you had to get in an accident, like during lockdown,
Oh, that's tough.
a
And I've
car
seen that
accident.
too.
But would you like what would insurance say? Surely they have the grounds to not pay it, no? Because you're not supposed to be driving unless you're
Yeah.
an essential worker.
That's a good point. I actually don't know how the insurance policies are there that side. That is a good point. If the president says to you, guys, start walking, stop using bicycles, and you're like, man, fuck the
You're like,
president.
nah, fuck that. And then
Bam! But to be fair, my understanding is that accidents in Botswana aren't that as intense as here. Um, so I think
because we
maybe
angry.
here we mad. I think I went. So I had an interview and like a mini performance like a month ago.
Yeah.
And when I was driving, it was my first time driving the Joburg since before lockdown. On the
Okay.
way to the place, there was two accidents, and I was just like, and as I drove past, I was just like,
The
man,
typical Pretoria man judging.
I was like, this don't make sense to me. And you know what the worst part of that was? The worst part of So let me be sensitive to the people who are in the accident. I hope you guys are safe. I hope no one died. I hope everyone's all right. So above and beyond that, my biggest
Mhm.
problem was there was a huge traffic jam. But my issue
Yeah.
was one of the accidents was on the far left side of the M1. All the other lanes, maybe like, because I think it's what, there's 4 or 5 lanes. I think there's 5 lanes. So I think
Yeah.
the fifth lane and the fourth lane were blocked. Okay. But lane three, two, one, they could have
It's
kept
gone.
moving. But you know what they decided to do?
To look.
For the gram, baby. Oh,
Yeah.
TikTok. I was even
Every,
mad. I was like, yo, there's a full
you
3 empty lanes. Move.
you get worse. You get worse, hey, bro. You get like, have you never seen where you're in a lane? Well, you're driving to Joburg now, okay?
Mm,
And there's a freaking 5, 6 lanes, and feels like there's a freaking accident, of which there is. It's just not on your side of the road.
yeah. Word.
It's on the oncoming traffic.
Oh, I
but
have seen that.
people
Yeah.
people are still driving slow as if the freaking accident is here by you. Yo, bro, that is the worst. Like, why is it slowing down?
South Africa. South Africa.
Sata.
If you're listening, if you're tuned in, my dearest South Africans, please, if you at least take one thing from this show tonight, please listen here. Your safety is important. It's important to you, your family, your friends. It's important to me. And vice versa amongst everyone else. Where there is an accident on the road and you're not part of the accident, just get fucking moving on because you know what? We got places to be. And I ain't trying to get knocked at the back by some fool in a GTI or a Beamer who's trying to rush and tangle himself between the lanes. Just keep it moving. You got a family to get home to. We love you. We support you. This is a message.
That was the most presidential PSA you've given on a live stream ever.
Bro, I would love to be president, but I'll never do it because I feel like they'll kill me.
Yeah, it's tricky, man.
I'll get assassinated.
But why? Okay, so why do you say that? Is it the kind of president you're gonna be, or is it just that you're gonna be president?
No, I just feel like my honest opinion is that if you have people who are strong-willed, looking for genuine change, and they're fighting like the good fight and trying to unweed the seeds of corruption, like people
they'll take you out.
Yeah, people are eating good. They're like, oh, this dude.
You trying to stop us from getting our bread, my dude?
Even though the reality is that what you're trying to do is make the bread cleaner, fresher, better, and available to everyone. They're like, nah, homie, I want that stale. I want the whole stale loaf. It's just mine. I'm like, homie, it ain't fresh. It's still gluten free. Nah, nigga, I don't care. Pass that white bread. Cut it at home. Eat it up with my hands.
That's the problem, man. We get greedy real quick, bro. Real quick.
Real fast.
And that's
sad.
Super sad, bro. Super sad. So I hear you, man. I think for the same reasons I wouldn't want to be president too.
Yeah, and that's sad. Imagine now we're saying that we don't want to be president because we don't want to die because of, we want to do good. And that's the thing. I think that's what countries need. You really need somebody for me, you need somebody who's willing to die. I met somebody once at varsity who said I want to be president. And I said to him, I support you, bro, because I know your heart is pure. But let me tell you something. You better be prepared to die. I'm not saying it's going to happen, and I don't want it to. But I'm saying when you wake up every morning, you got to make sure you check your eggs. You got to check your whatever you eat. You got to check where you go, who you're with, every single day of your life because they are going to come for you. When you're trying to make that change, you have to be fearless. You be like, my life is mine, but I have to share it with the people, and I give it to everybody. And that's why I run for president. I sacrifice for everything. My life is yours, my people. When I go, I still live in you. That's what we need. I ain't heard one president say that in a long time. Obama tried to swing it, but he was using too many adjectives.
No, he tried, but man, Obama couldn't, guys. I feel like y'all had too many expectations on Obama.
Yeah.
How are you gonna expect one black man in a country with one of the most racist histories in the world, like, to come and make shit like better for black people within 8 years? I get the whole. He definitely represented hope, like 100%, and I can understand how people had hope in that, but it was never gonna happen, and it's okay, It has to. You just need enough Obamas in succession for it to eventually start, for it to eventually start effecting some change. But then also, I just want to add to your point, like, you need a president who's gonna come in and just try and effect change, will be prepared to die. For me, I don't even think it's enough. Like, even if you had the choice, like, because you can run for president, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then in the South African context, you obviously select your cabinet. You can't just select anyone you can't get rid of everyone, like, because if you do that, then you're freaking,
what do you call it? Son.
Yes, exactly. For me, the only way I would become president is if I could select that whole, like, I could select even the people that could usurp me. I could even select my own people there. Like, there's no ways I'll go by myself, like, because that's how you know that at least you stand a chance of still staying alive. Because even if you do that, your life is still not guaranteed.
Yeah. And the reality is, I don't
Still
think
not
there's such
guaranteed.
thing as a clean politician. I don't think it exists. So
No,
I think the
no.
person will have to get their hands dirty, but you need to, everything needs to be for the greater good and not the expense of everybody. You know, you gotta find a way to
Yeah.
make it work. I know we're kind of romanticizing it like in the movies, but it's the truth. That's the only way you gotta do it. You gotta play the game. Politics is a political game. You gotta play it. Gotta find a way to win.
Yeah.
Put your pieces in place, and then find yourself to get in a situation where you now have leverage to get yourself in the king and queen seat, and then from there you select the people who at the core are there for you. You mix it a little bit, but then you still make sure that those people play by your rules, even though they ain't your people. They're playing by your rules,
They're playing by your rules.
even though they think because they're there that they're playing you, but like, nah, you're on my chessboard, but you still playing.
That was like some triple chess entendre right there, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's true, man. That's exactly, you just explained the story of how people get into politics like with a good heart, and by the time they get to the top, they just they like corrupt, they dirty MFs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Because you just climbing the ladder, bro.
exactly. So tell me something, like, so maybe just to give some insight, people. So you're in the, you correct me, you're the fintech space. So maybe just
In InsurTech,
insure tech. Thank you. What's the difference?
yeah.
Just for clarity,
Uh,
I don't know.
fin- fintech is like finance, so think of your banking apps or like money exchange, like
Yeah.
um, anything that just involves you, like moving money or type of thing, exchange for goods, I guess. So that's more like fintech,
Hmm.
and then insurtech is insurance
Insurance tech.
specific. So
Oh, okay, insurance
yeah,
tech.
insurance tech, yeah. So I also, because for me, I mean, look, prior to this, I actually went into this because I wanted to actually learn more about the financial services and finance,
Oh,
whatever.
word.
Because I
Okay.
mean, yeah, because I mean, Joburg, who runs this place, it's bankers and everything. So I was like, I'm a programmer. Let me just learn something about this industry. Then I ended up getting into the insurance side of it. So, but they're two very different things I've come to learn. So I'm now in insurance and not finance. But they are quite, you learn, they're quite interlinked, they're quite close,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
And how long have you been in the
Yeah.
industry?
When did I start? 2018.
2018.
Was it? Wait, I need to count. 2018, 2018. Yes,
Oh, so
beginning of 2018.
it's like your third year. And how is it, man? Like,
Yeah.
what about yourself has changed? And and what is it that you love about the industry essentially?
Yo, man, like I'll tell you, the industry actually tries to corrupt a nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? They're just
Always,
trying to,
always. Come
the
on.
industry's just trying to turn you into this cutthroat MF. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, man, I gotta fight this, Yeah, man. But I've definitely learned a lot about like the financial services and insurance as a whole. Um, it's helped. Yeah, that understanding I think I'll be able to take forward in anything else that I do, going forward. Um, and I think specifically, like, I mean, I'm not. Yes, I'm in insurance, but I'm in insure tech.
Yeah.
So it's still, yeah, I just want to draw a fine line over there that it's like it's still the tech industry. And I think the Joburg tech scene is actually quite an exciting one, and just to be in it is really dope, man. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, especially when you really trying to build a company from like its early infancy.
Yeah,
You
word.
really learn a lot about yourself, and yeah, man, it's just super exciting. I mean, stressful days, bro. Like really,
Of course.
I
What's
mean,
24 hours?
dude, what was I saying earlier? 24 hours is not enough hours in a day, bro. We need
Yeah.
more. We need more.
I
So
mean,
yeah, man.
what's interesting, maybe you can clarify it for me, because I haven't done my homework enough around it. So I always thought, so my uncle's also, well, he's in tech.
Okay.
He's based in I'm just gonna say Silicon Valley. It's not Silicon Valley, but I'm not gonna expose where my homie is, but around there. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he worked for one of the tech companies there. And he came here, and I think there was like some form of conference or festival of sorts, not festival, a conference of sorts a few years back, in Stellenbosch, or in the Western Cape region. So I've always had this perception that like the tech space is strong in the Western Cape and nowhere else really. So when you said there's actually a Joburg space, can you maybe talk a little bit towards that? Because that's for me that's exciting. I would like to have like some form of tech bubble happening here and not in the Western Cape alone.
No, 100%. Look, there is definitely, I think, I came up like, because I studied at UCT
Yeah.
around 2009 to 2012. And obviously during that time I was working and doing internships and stuff. And in Cape Town, they've always been about like, driving the tech scene over there, like big time. It actually seems quite cultural if you ask me. Cape Town obviously is where a lot of English-speaking people are, and they're trying to push like a Silicon Valley. They even gave it a name and called it Silicon Cape, So they just exactly. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there, bro. I'm not gonna go there. But they try and they trying to push that whole thing over there, and there's a lot of these little like startups, and they really fund each other over there. They have their own little community.
Yeah.
Same thing in Stellenbosch as well. Stellenbosch, I think they have what's it called? It's called Tech City or Tech something in Stellenbosch as well. We're also the Afrikaans community over there. They just really, just punting. And there's some really like big time startups that come out of these regions. Like I know Stellies is really doing crazy, some really crazy stuff over there. But a lot of the criticism that these two places get is that they seclude themselves.
Yeah.
They only want to operate with each other, which I agree with. It's not cool, man. Like, I mean, dude, you live in South Africa. Like, let's integrate. Let's get more representation in the tech industry, That's what I like about Joburg, There's a higher concentration of, black co-founders. Geez, I could drop some names, bro. Who's this guy from Yoko? Katleho Mapai, man. That guy's doing some fire stuff with Yoko, bro. Like, I think the brand that he's created behind Yoko is just such a dope-ass company.
Strong brand.
Strong, bro. Aisha Pando, bro. Like, she's killing it with Sweep South. Killing it. But I think she's in Cape Town, though, my boy Velani Mboweni as well, man. He's also doing some fire stuff with Lula as well. And then...
that's my homie.
I figured he's also, from those schools.
Yeah, he's a family friend.
Oh yeah. Nah, he's doing some really really dope stuff with Lula out in Thingy. He's also in Cape Town.
Yeah, also in the Cape. Yeah.
But obviously, look, I'm at Pineapple now, which is in Schuurtech here in Johannesburg. One of the other ones also pushing, and it was co-founded by Nda, a friend of mine also from UCT. So there's the representation coming through, man, in the startups in Johannesburg. So dope, bro. And I think even the scene is so much more welcoming and so much more open, so much more friendly. You don't feel secluded. There's not that thing in the air, man, like in the city. Like I think what kind of couples all of this thing, like with your places like Cape Town, etc. It's like the nature of the city naturally just makes it conducive for these kind of like cliques to form, and make it visionary for anyone else to get in. Which for me personally, I've always been a critic of that. It was never welcoming. I've had some really bad personal experiences working professionally in Cape Town as a black person, and I'm not the only one. Many people have had that type of thing. Tech itself also has a problem. It has a race problem. It has a gender problem as well. Like it's way too male dominated. It's not welcoming for like women. It's and I feel like Johannesburg is a lot more diverse in that regard. And I feel like over here there's just so much more opportunity to create things. That's what I'm really enjoying about the scene, and it's so much it's so much. I think you'll be so much more welcomed, trying to do things over here. And I'm actually quite keen to actually like investigate the tech startup scene in Pretoria.
Yeah, I actually see Beshan is talking about Centurion as well. Has one. He's mentioning the Hello Group.
Nice.
He's talking about the Hello Group as well. And I'm saying to him, I was actually saying to him, what's ironic is I was actually at those offices. I think a year or two ago, and I had no idea. And I was meeting someone there, and I had no idea what the place was. If I have to be honest, I was in the offices.
For me, with Centurion, right? Because I have had dealings with, I guess little like agencies over there, like development agencies that like make apps or whatever. So like a taste of the kind of tech scene over there.
Yeah.
I always feel like culturally, because Centurion is very Afrikaans dominated, like Stellenbosch. So I feel like there's like competition over there. Maybe Centurion is trying to like you know, become that kind of that Steelies vibe. So I guess it's like some that's like some good competition to have. I guess, you know, it's a nice way to keep one motivated.
Yeah, that's
Um,
dope.
yeah,
What
man,
you
you
gonna call
know.
it? You know what? Actually, I'm not a customer of pineapple yet. But you know what I like about the company. So from what I've seen so far, I haven't done enough homework on it. But what I like about it is, man, like it's a brilliant model. It's almost like they'll ensure above and beyond the traditional things. They'll ensure the things that people don't. And it's like miscellaneous things that I've always thought about. Like, man, I've always thought about, like, damn, if I drop my PlayStation, the hell am I gonna do?
It would be a damn
It will be
shame
a
if you
damn
drop
shame.
that PlayStation.
Exactly, and I even got, like, so especially now that I'm in the music scene as well, and I'm also like investing in the supply chain of it as
And
well.
equipment, right?
The equipment that I've
Man.
been investing, and I'm just like, damn, man, like, I don't want to have to go. First of all, Austrians might not do it. Some of these other guys might not do it, and it's like this shit is expensive too, bro. Like, and it's really quick,
Yeah.
and that's where the world is going to. It's a one-touch solution based type of thing. That's why I enjoy the model. And I actually said to my girlfriend this week, even though she wasn't really for it, because PlayStation isn't necessarily relationship
Our
friendly.
favorites.
But
Yeah, yeah, we understand.
yeah, I said, man, when that PS5 come out, I'ma buy
Oh
that
no.
thing, get two controllers, get myself the first 2 or 3 games, and then I'ma pull out that pineapple app and show that shit
It
2 seconds
snap
right
that. Yo,
after.
kaplow, kaplow.
Kaplow, son.
Yo, my G, are you not going to twerk for that PS5, bro?
Nah, hell no.
You're going to twerk for that PS5?
I got dignity, son.
You got-
I ain't selling my soul for it. Sorry.
Man, you know what? Real
Yeah.
talk though. Yo, and this is like off the record. I would twerk for that PS5, bro.
Oh, don't do it.
My waist will swing. I'll be like, yo, how do you want that booty to swing, girl? I'll do it, man. I will swing.
Oh man, don't do it, bro. They worth it, man. They worth it.
Hey, man, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. If she won't put that PS5 there, I just might twerk, bro.
People are busy. All these memes that are going out about getting grandma, or getting sugar mamas, becoming a Ben 10 just for their PS5. I'm like, damn, man. People are willing to sell their souls for this. But you know what? Like, from my understanding, PlayStation 4 outsold. I think it was the number one selling console. But outsold Xbox the last time, and I just really enjoy. Even though the new Xbox, my understanding is that from the specifications, it's a lot stronger, but like the brand, around PlayStation and how they do this shit, it's just phenomenal.
Man,
It's absolutely phenomenal, and I wouldn't mind, like, for a company like that, and I don't really know the truth behind like the workspace, but I'd love to work for companies like that. You know,
mm, mm,
I'd love
mm.
to work. I'd love to be in spaces because right now I think where people, I've been in corporate now for this is my 5th year in corporate, and I'm working at a bank in the financial services as well, and investing,
Yeah,
and I just
yeah,
and I feel like what needs to happen. It's not just about financial services, but it's also about where's the world going. And my biggest
hmm
issue with South Africa as a culture and as a country sometimes is that we tend to be on average trend followers instead of trend setters. We don't have enough micro economies, not economies but industries. Where
definitely.
we're a net importer, but there's also it's not a lot of support on a business level to kind of make shit
Yeah,
happen. Like, I was talking
yeah,
to some other people. I was like, man, there's a difference. It's so hard to become like a like a what you call a Snapchat or a Twitter here because what people don't realize that with how those businesses really take off, they have angel investors who come in and drop in millions of dollars, maybe hundreds of millions of
gang,
dollars, gang money to actually do
gang
that,
cash.
and the infrastructure gets created. It's tough. That's why I'm so impressed by the fact that our tech industry in the different pockets, it's catching the eyes worldwide. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, man, we need more of that. That's where it's going. And
Absolutely,
exactly. I mean, look at Amazon, bro. Those guys are snakes. Woo!
man.
They here. They're like, yo, man, we got jobs. Yo, COVID. Yo, y'all lost your jobs. Come
That's
through.
so wild,
I was
bro.
like,
Like
damn.
3K. But that's the dream, man. Like, like I mean, I follow, dude. I've got like on the stock tick, I've got all these top companies. I'm just watching the share price, watching that market cap just go up every single day.
Yeah.
There's like one, two, three, $4 trillion companies. Yeah, Google, Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft. Well, the ones that I have, there's probably some more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like freaking these guys are just punting it. I've always had this dream, bro. Like, so me, I was from this small town there in Eastern Cape called Port Elizabeth. Well, it's actually a city, but it's just tiny, you know what I'm saying? We're small, whatever. But it'll be so dope. I always just wish that one day I could just start like a Silicon Valley type of situation over there. I think we need that, man. Like, especially like, like black entrepreneurs in tech, bro. Just guys just making moves who can then like just help. Like, cause I mean, if you look at what happened, in Stellenbosch, like with all these startups that are just thriving over there, man. These guys, you'll find that they like lived in the same res as some other businessman who's overseas somewhere. I even read this one story. One of the guys behind one of the flourishing startups there in Stellenbosch, he just he saw that there was this guy. He was living in Philadelphia, running a huge company over there. Afrikaans dude, also from there, and he just dropped him a mail in Afrikaans, dude. Homie was like, "Whoa, man, come through to Philadelphia." Dude was on a plane, went there, had a nice chat. Next thing is getting invested in his company. We should be able to do those type of things, man. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
That is access, bro. That's access that you and I don't have. You know what I'm saying? But we need to establish those kinds of things. And I think now, like especially in the Joburg Star scene, that's like the perfect time to do it, bro. That's one of my dreams. It'll take forever, but we'll see how close we get there.
We'll get there, man. Something I've been feeling recently, and I expressed this with my girl. When I was in the States for 4 years, and when I came back, I felt like the past 5 years that I've been back, it just felt like something was missing, bro. And for me, what's missing isn't like a Western life, but what's missing is, we need to build something. And not just like you or not just I or you and I, but like just as a community of people, like because we're losing out, man. We're losing out in the world. Like the place of dark skinned people in the world is just it's going down and down and down and down and down every single year. And something that an uncle of mine even said was, the issue with black people, not the issue, sorry, what black people are not doing enough is we're not specializing in specific skill sets and then coming together to grow whatever it may be. You know what I mean? I remember a dude from a specific ethnic group, came to me and he's like, "Yo, man, I'm looking for this amount of money. I'm trying to build this for my people." And when he first said it, I was like, "Is this guy being racist?" What? But then after a few seconds, I thought about it. I was like, actually, why not? It's not like what he's saying hasn't been done. It works. It
Yeah.
makes sense, and it's not a thing of excluding. Kenya and Rwanda. Abesh is just mentioning other countries.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Like, it's not about excluding other people. It's about growing something where the equity and the ownership lies with a certain group of people, but it's also shared, amongst the
Yeah.
world. You know what I mean? Of all the people and the world. And I feel like that's what we need to really look at doing now. And that's what I'm really thinking about now. I just feel like, I don't want to be, I was never always going to be in corporate forever, but I just feel like when I do leave, it's got to be a thing where when I move next, I'm moving with a purpose now. And that's kind of where I am in my life. I'm just like, okay, I've trained, I've learned about corporate, I understand these things. Purpose. Let's move with the purpose. So now I'm in that phase of my
Yeah.
life where I'm like, okay, now I need to discover what does the rest of my life look like. You know what I mean? Because I understand that my purpose in life is to actually make positive change or to help the world. Now since I understand that, I've worked for a bit, I understand some shit. It's like, all right, let's materialize this thing. How do we change the world? Let's
Yeah.
make it happen. And
No, agreed,
exactly,
bro.
and I still want to make money because I want to be able to do what I want when I want. If I want to say to my girl, "Yo, let's go to Jamaica for the weekend," let go. Come on. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. I agree with you. Actually, I relate, man. I remember in 2014, I spent that year in Paris. I was doing
Yeah.
an internship there in corporate as well. And I remember there sitting on my boss. It was like we were at the Christmas dinner at his place.
Mm.
He lives in a really nice place right next to the Eiffel Tower.
Lovely.
This is nigga balling, man. But he's such a cool dude. And we're chilling at his place because he was hosting the Christmas party at his joint and got like a chef, you know. It was nice. He got like this African dude from West Africa, you know. So it was nice. At least, you know, he's using he's using us, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in the we getting paid out of this shit. So I was like, oh, yeah, that's dope. And we're sitting there, man, and we're busy chatting, and he's asking me like, what's my plans, you know, my next moves and stuff. You know, and like I said to him, I was like, yo, man, like, because we were drinking a lot of champagne, you know, so he got us nice and sauced, you know what I'm saying?
Then he's like, now that I got you.
you know, I was so vulnerable, man. But I told him, I was like, dude, I was like, yo, man, like this opportunity I got, because it was an internship that I won through competition.
Oh,
and I was like,
dope.
yeah, it was super dope, bro. And I was like, yo, man, this opportunity I get to actually come to Paris and work here. And I'm looking outside his window and I'm like, dude, like the Eiffel Tower's over there and I'm working here and I've been traveling all over, you know, for my job. And I'm saying this is all the stuff that you have clearly helped me to do. Like you have given me the opportunity to go and action, you know, kind of prove myself and do these things and learn so much at such a young age. I was like 24. And I was like, dude, like, it's crazy. I never would have thought that I would have been here, etc. It's been so dope. But I just feel like for me to come here with the skills that I have, there are millions of other people in the city who are better than me. Like, what help am I gonna bring to this multi-million rand organization? Like, it's just nothing. There's nothing that you're gonna gain from me being here, you know. Also, like for myself, I just don't feel like I'm doing anything, you know. And that it actually did get to that point. I think probably like 6-7 months into the job, I really wasn't doing anything at the office. It was like I'm just giving myself my own role and I'm getting paid. I've got job security, I'm getting paid in euros, which is very nice, you know. And then even a lot of the things at work are still subsidized. So most of that cash I actually just get to keep myself. Then I can do whatever I want, you know. So very comfortable, like extremely comfortable. And it's a first world problem, I know, hands down, where in comfort you feel like, geez, actually there's something wrong. Because in South Africa, in South Africa, we all want comfort and fair game. I get it. Like I was the first to acknowledge there's a first world ass problem. Cool. However, I was just like, dude, I feel like I'm doing nothing. There's stagnant. So I'm like stagnant here. I feel like there's nothing that I'm contributing over here. And I feel like everything that I've learned right now is going to be put to best use back in South Africa. And I can directly impact the country. I can actually build things. I can be taken a lot more seriously with the credibility that I've gotten from working here at this multinational. There's just so much case for impact that I can do, you know. And that's when I developed my sense of purpose. Now I was like, okay, geez, this is what I want to spend my life doing now. I want to create tech for Africa. Like that's that. Like Africa is the most underserved freaking continent when it comes to almost everything. Let me at least be one of the people that, you know, starts tech over here as an African person myself to serve the continent, you know, obviously starting with my country and moving up. But that's my purpose now. Whatever I do, it needs to be in line with that. And that is the ultimate goal, you know. And I've given myself a sense of purpose. And I think I always tell people to give themselves a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
Because it helps you wake up every day, bro. Like when you wake up and you don't know whatever to do, you can always just go back to that and you just know how to move. I think it's super important, man, to like have drive every day, to just give yourself something to work towards. Give yourself a purpose, man. Whatever it is, then at least you wake up, you work towards that. So that was a purpose that I gave myself. That was the moment that I had, which is what you had now after your that you just explained now. And I was just like, yeah, no, the rest of my life is going to be dedicated to that. So now I've been actively, you know, busy with those endeavors. I feel like now at Pineapple, I'm doing just that. And after Pineapple, that's what I'm going to be doing, you know. And geez, I've got crazy ideas, man. There's so much I want to do. and best believe I'm at least gonna give them a try once in my life. Like, you know. But I just feel like that's where I'm supposed to be. You know, for me working in Facebook or Google or Apple or whatever, what good am I there when they have freaking machine learning, artificial intelligence engineers who came from Stanford? Who is Sizwe? Who? What?
Yeah.
As Mzwake Mbuli said, what is Google? Who is Google? You know? So yeah, man, I think it's so important, bro. Like, it's good, and I think you should encourage everyone else, man, as well, to just give yourself a sense of purpose, you know, and rather, you know, give yourself one. Don't let someone else give you purpose. Like, create your own. You know, create your own and run with it, dude. You know, you stick with it. Thanks for coming to my TED talk.
That's the word, man. That shit hit home. And you know, we're actually at the end of the show, and I think that's the message I would want anybody to actually take, you know, from all of this. You know, the whole idea around this show, Out of Space, you know, is we're in the space of world, but to be in the space out of that space to talk about what's real, you know, what's true to us. And we need more of this from people, man. Like, you know, forget the tenders. Not that you mustn't do tenders, but I'm just saying the, like, you know, the bad side of it. Forget that shit. Forget trying to fit in. Forget trying to be the same. Forget trying to be usual. We don't need any more of the usual. It's not working, first and foremost, and it's not serving us. Let's drop that. Dare to be different. Dare to take a leap of faith. Listen to your heart. Ride on the wave of passion with a little sprinkle of realism, but ride on the wave of purpose, and you know, and all of that. And let's do that, man. And like I said to you, and you said it to me first, actually. You beat me to it, but I was thinking about it before. We should definitely hang out more and holler more, man. You know, you got my line. You know, you can holler at me at any time. You know, unfortunately, even though we're down the road from each other, you know, Corona causing this cosmic shit. We'll wait for the universe to do its Noah's Ark.
It's cleansing, reformatting,
let it reformat,
whatever.
Yeah, whatever the hell the universe is doing right now, and then you know, then we'll see each other on the other side.
No, definitely, bro. Thanks for having me, bro. This has been super dope.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, always glad to come back, man. This is the hub, bro. You know.
Hell yeah! Tune in for next week. Next week we're gonna have, and hopefully he can actually make it. We got a dude called Alex. I believe it's Alex Marias next week. He's the guy who once told me, he sold me a dream that he was gonna be the president of Honduras. I'm gonna call him out for that shit. Be like, homie, you still in America, bruh. What happened? But nah, he's a lion with a golden heart, so next week gonna be dope too.
Nice.
But yeah, thanks a lot again, and everybody, thanks for tuning in. Besh, thanks for the comments there. It's good to holler at you on the side there. We'll see everybody again next week. And yeah, be safe, y'all. Coronavirus ain't a myth. It ain't. Stop that shit. This shit is realer than WWE. This ain't a game, son. This ain't a game. The Rock ain't gonna save you from the COVID. Undertaker has also retired. What you gonna do? Drop.
Nigga don't roll his eyes no more.
He ain't coming back, son. Now he's in the ground for real. He ain't coming back. So don't take the coronavirus thing as a game.
Man, you a clown, bro.
Away. All right, thanks, bro.
Away. Salute, bro.
All right, peace.
Peace.